Hey, all you fucking sinners. And I am back with another fanfiction as promised. Alright, for starters, before we begin, I like to start by saying, Jesuus Mathis, do you see me? Do you hear me? Does this actually satisfy your little itchy brain? Can you hear me? Good? Alright, so today, I'll be reading this fanfiction that's obviously a self-insert, self-indulgent thing. Basically, this story was brought on by actual schizophrenia. I do not have schizophrenia, but people state this is schizo shit. So, enough of the theatrics. And, yeah, I'm aware the last video has distortion. Thanks, voice mod. I don't know what's up with my fucking microphone, but I was using voice mod because of personal reasons. But anyways, I like to state that I got a new fucking, a new microphone, which is why I sound so fabulous. Anyways, now, beginning, we're gonna be reading this is an ongoing fanfiction, so every once in a while I'll read, if I have like 2 chapters per out, I would read 2 chapters per video. So, luckily, we have 2 chapters right now. So, this is called Izakid into My Yonder Alternative Universe, or Yandere. Awamo. Summary. Some people tend to get carried away in their fantasies. Some like to make up small and tiny universes where they could live with their fictional husbands in peace, due to having problems with real-life interaction. This much is, oh shit, for Orion, a typical female who spends most of her days writing away in her fantasy realm. She has troubles making friends, and turns to this alternative world to help. But things take a sudden turn, leaving her confused and slightly worried about her outcome. Where is she, and why is there many of her fictional others staring at her? Stuck in this confusing world Orion made for herself, she has to figure out why she is in it and how to get out. But she will later find out that there's something more to why she is here. Reverse harem, self-insert fanfiction. Chapter 1. This is first-person view, by the way. Do you ever feel lonely to the point where you decide to make an alternate universe by inserting yourself into a fictional world and self-shipping with every character? That's me. I suffer from being alone a lot, so what's the bad idea in doing all that? Well, it's an issue when the characters you choose to self-shift with are yanderes. People always complain about how toxic they can get, but what makes it worse than usual? I'm just interested in these characters, and I know they're a fantasy. That's what makes them better than most. 2 of them are virtual reality bending characters, meant to only serve you and only you because they killed everyone for you. Another one is a talk show radio demon from hell. Another one's a crazy stalker that followed you around and noticed you. One's the ghost of a TV show character mascot that makes pancakes for you. One likes to think he's gotten above everyone else so much that he views himself higher than mortals. One is a lonely talking puppet. One's an adoptive daughter that I choose to adopt but turns out to be a demon. One's a vampire. One's a crazy obsessed boyfriend with a regular name. One is some guy with a hatchet. And one is a normal family man who ended up being killed by his friend. The twist is, they're all yonders, for my self-insert. I like to think that it's not a big deal, but to most self-inserts are regarded as the cringiest and annoying characters to have ever been made. But I, for one, know how to make a character. It just depends on the age and experience of the person. I had my fair share of Mary Sue's, but that's not all bad. Once you learn to accept criticism for it. I spent the last few hours perfecting the AU and writing down a guide and roadmap for this series, and I flopped back into my bed. Spending my years alone is tough. I am an adult, but I am lonely. I crave human interactions, much like everyone else. To some extent, and lusting or pining after fictional characters isn't gonna cut it for me. I have to find someone eventually, but sometimes it's better, more healthier to fall in love with fictional characters than real people. They can't hurt you, as they aren't real, they're just fiction. Everyone can argue that it's healthy to love fictional characters, everyone does it. But is it really okay for you to love yanderes, the type of trope that if done in real life can get you serious jail time? I suppose some people could say it depends if you can separate reality from fiction, but I clench the bed sheets until my knuckles turn white. I can't think of these things before bed. I need to get to sleep and head to my job in the morning. Contrary to popular beliefs, I do have a real-life job. So with that, I shut my eyes. I woke up in the morning to being cradled in bed. I was confused at first, because normally I live only with my mom and we don't share a bed together. I rubbed my eyes and wondered what the hell was going on. Good morning, sunshine, said a voice. I snapped my eyes open, wiping the sleep from my eyes. I was most certainly not in my bedroom. What usually greeted me was my room with my clothes strewn about, with unpacked boxes and dishes everywhere. Fun fact, it actually was, but my mom cleaned it. For some reason, it was clean? Ah yes, the fucking exterminator. I was wondering if my mom walked into my room when all of a sudden, the person who was wrapping their arms around me. So I turned around and greeted me. Holy shit, it's Sunny Day McFucking Jack! I fell out of the bed with a startled yell. Immediately, the door slammed open, and Jack's amazing digital circus along with Kane came in holding plans. I blinked and looked down. That was not my original skin color. Orion, are you okay? We heard a yell, Kane said with worry in his voice. I blinked and looked around. Where the fuck? I trailed off before Kane gave me a look. That look seemed to be enough for me to stop. Frick am I? I scared myself. You're home. Haven't you forgotten? Jack said, getting out from my bed. I was confused. But I was trying to explain, but I couldn't find the correct words to do. So, Jack sighed and shook his head. You're probably hungry. Here, I'll make breakfast. Get him back in bed. Jack said. Jax rushed over to me and placed on my bed. I was so confused and a little freaked out. I remember being in my room, in my bed, in my messy room. I just sort of laid down while Kane followed Jack in the kitchen. Jack seemed to stay for a while as if to coax me to calm down. I'll be right back. Stay here, Jack said, leaving. Like hell I will. I'm not about to stay here and wonder where the fuck I am. So when I thought Jax was gone, I rushed towards the door and it opened. I peeked through the door, and when I saw that no one was there, I ran out like a bat out of hell. I kept having thoughts through my head, wondering how I got here and if this truly was a dream I am having. These thoughts were short-lived as I bumped into someone and fell on my ass. Oh, what's a pretty face like yours doing here? Said a staticky yet radio voice. Alistair. Oh, Orion, it's so lovely to meet you. It's been nearly a decade since we've last seen you, Alistair said with a chuckle of his own before helping me up. What the fuck is going on, Alistair? I asked, trying to keep my voice in case Kane was nearby. I have no clue of what you're talking about, dear. You had quite the fall yesterday, Alistair said with a look of thought. Fall? When did I? This sounds like a lot like the work I did before I fell asleep. I sighed and shook my head. What fall? I asked. Alistair seemed to frown. That sounds bad. I'll just talk with Ford about this. Just take it easy, okay? Alistair asked. I rolled my eyes. I am fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I tried to reassure him, but obviously this demon from hell isn't going to stop worrying about me, so I got up and continued to walk and walk. It feels like this place seemed all too familiar, it's like I've been here before. I shook my head from these thoughts until I arrived at the kitchen. Now this kitchen was a dream kitchen. It was something I always wanted in a kitchen. There was ample room for all appliances, and it wasn't something too big or expansive. I walked in, and immediately Sunny Day Jack walked out with a bowl and stirred the bowl of what I presumed to be pancakes. Orion, Jack scolded with anger evident in his tone. What did I tell you? Jack asked. To stay in bed, I asked. Yes, and why aren't you in bed? Matter of fact, why isn't Jax watching over you? Jack asked with a bit of unease in his tone. I rubbed my head and looked around. Well, to be fair, you didn't specify not to leave the room, Orion said. Jack chuckled. You and your loopholes, he hissed, before turning back to ladle the pancakes on the back on the sizzling pan. I rubbed the back of my head nervously, before turning around to see Alistair, who has since left, and in his place was Wally Darling. It was weird seeing a 3 feet tall puppet carry groceries, and Amanda who was helping. Wait, I remember now. I'm trapped inside my own alternate universe. Chapter 2. Notes. See the end of the chapter for notes. I was sitting at the table as Jack whistled and ladled the pancakes. The others were busy putting away groceries. Jax was being an asshole as usual. Nothing new there. I hummed and tapped my fingers. A million thoughts went through my head. One managed to stick. What was the fall? I always wondered where I was. Before I could think about it more, I found myself face to face with Jack Walton. Hello, Jack W. said. Hello, hey, Jack. I responded. Huh? You said something, Orion? Sunny J. Jack said. I shook my head. Not you, I was talking about Jack Walton, I said. God, why do I have to add 2 Jacks to this AU? Huh? I should probably give them names to separate them from each other. Hey, I have an idea. Maybe I can give you 2 nicknames, to separate you 2 from another, I said with a smile. Sunny Day Jack chuckles, a beautiful sound to me. You and your nicknames, Sunny Day Jack commented. But I'd like to hear what you have named for me, Sunshine. I second that, Mr. Walton said. What about Jackie for Sunny Day Jack, and Jackson for you, Mr. Walton, I asked. Jackson laughed and smiled. Like Michael Jackson? Jackson asked. Yeah, it's kinda, if that's what you want to go off of, I said. Jackson smirked and kissed me on the forehead. Then I'll keep the nickname then, Jackson said. The grayscale fellow walked out with a pep in his step as Jackie smirked. Well, that's oddly kind of you to give us a nickname so you wouldn't mix us up, Jackie said. I rubbed the back of my head. Yeah, that's what I get for having 2 characters with the same name, I mumbled. Anyways, who's Michael Jackson? After explaining to Jackie who Michael Jackson was, he seemed to enjoy listening to whatever I had to say. I seemed to enjoy his presence before someone popped up beside me. Hey, said a raspy voice. I jumped up and turned to face whoever decided to scare me like that. And let me say, the PNG version of him wasn't as fucking scary as he is in front of me. Who might you add? Well, dear readers, it's John McFucking... Okay, we're not gonna make that joke again. It's John fucking Doe. You know that he's fucking creepy in his original game. The sprite is. But like, shit, if you saw him in real life, you shit your pants from how scary he is. Hi, John. I didn't know what to say. Here he was smiling at me with his wide-ass smile. John leaned into me, sniffing me. You smell great, John complimented. I could only smile forcibly at that. Thanks, John. What are you doing here? I asked, trying to mask my uncomfortableness and uneasiness with a genuine inquiry. Why wouldn't I be here? After all, everyone's here. We all live here with you, John said. I shrugged and sighed. Yeah, I know that. I began for Jackie placed a plate of pancakes down. Breakfast ready, he said. This time I was thinking he made blueberry, but surprise, surprise, it's actually chocolate chip. Look curiously at it before trying it. Hell, it tastes good. So it makes a godly chocolate chip pancake mix. It didn't take too long until others joined to have breakfast. You wouldn't believe my shock when I found out Kane can most certainly eat. You know, I always thought Kane's name was spelled with a K instead of a C. I might ask him if I could call him that, nicknames. Eating breakfast is like that one scene from Coraline where they all eat together. Dinner together. Everyone was having a blast. It certainly masked the void and eerness of my situation. You know, the scene from Coraline and the other mother's house with the move around gravy and shit. That's what I was trying to go with. That's what I was talking about. You know, I have a question, I finally said. Everyone turned to face me. Shoot, Jack said. There's a lot of questions I have. For starters, what am, I said, we're seeing feeling overwhelmed. It's okay, just start where you want, Peter said, seeming to be calm. I nodded, looked around. Well, for starters, what is the fall? I asked. The room went silent as they looked at one another. Honestly, I felt like I said something wrong before Kane got up and walked over to me. Well, the fall was an incident that occurred exactly a decade ago, where he disappeared permanently. It was a minor event that wasn't a big deal. It caused such worry for us, Kane admitted. I frowned. If this is a minor event, wouldn't I have remembered it? Disappeared permanently? I questioned. The others gave the same look before a sympathetic look appeared on their face momentarily. A soft sigh escaped them. Around a decade ago, around this exact time, you disappeared. We all looked for you, and it was concerning. At first, Monica and Mateo tried to find you, but when they searched for you, there was no signs of you at all, Kane said. I remember so little of this, and the only thing I remember was an incident like this happening when I was found barefoot wandering around some highway in a dazed state back in my real universe, mumbling about head pains and complaining about Sunny Day Jack and the Yanderes. I was obviously sent to a psych ward and was prescribed pills to help me with some form of psychosis. Since then, I haven't had a single issue. That incident a decade ago couldn't have been related to the one they were referring to. But I did catch hints of my mom talking about how I disappeared for a long period of time, and it was oddly weird too. I see, that sounds awful. I'm sorry, I frowned. Although I found it awfully concerning how you seem to function fine after a certain event. You don't feel any pain in your head, do you? Ward asked me. I once again frowned. No, not exactly. My head's fine. If anything, I just don't seem to remember much other than waking up here, I said. You woke up here? Alistair asked him seriously. I mean, Jackie could say without a doubt I appeared here, didn't I? Asked if I truly disappeared a decade ago. Couldn't they say without a doubt I'd reappeared? Jack, is this true? Kane asked. This confused me because wouldn't they all have agreed to me and said, it's been a decade since they last saw me, like Alistair did. I mean, she did appear in the bed when I first awoke and it took me off guard, Jackie confirms. It was also weird to hear her scream after being gone, Jack admitted. I see, I mumbled. Well, we can't just question her at all. We'll be here all day. Let us spend all the rest of our days with her. Who knows what'll be her last, Asterin said. I looked away ashamed. Breakfast seemed to go off without a hitch. The majority of the many people left the kitchen and went to their office to do their own things. I caught a glimpse of Wally heading to the painting room to paint something, while John seemed to follow me before he went to go bug Peter. So I just slouched around in the living room, bored out of my mind. While I was confused on where I was, I chalked it up to me being my dream home, the one I decided for my specific universe. But I find it incredibly confusing on how I ended up here. Was this a shifting thing I've been struggling to master and perfect? Or was this a coma I entered in and somehow woken just like in those stupid truth behind cartoon videos? I have no idea, and I felt like the answer wouldn't be answered anytime soon, so I just opted to flip through channels, which sucked even more because there aren't anything on. Although I did manage to skip past a channel that had a news report of me being missing back in my universe, I didn't watch it because it's not interesting. I should have, since it would have given me the answers if I exist back in my universe. But news were never interesting to me. It was just a bunch of fake stories construed together, and some just seemed rushed and in need of a coverage, because the president doesn't do anything interesting that day to have the need to talk about for the entire runtime. So they went around asking a random stranger about some minor event to fill the gaps. Eventually, I opted to rewatch Markiplier's Five Nights at Freddy's series and laugh the same, the bite of 83? Was that the bite of 83? Joke that's been stale for years. Ah yes, a good choice. I was staring intently at the screen, so much so I didn't realize someone's weight entered the couch. I turned to face whoever's, and lo and behold, I was met with space buns. It was Amanda. Mom! Amanda said, clutching me. I patted her head awkwardly. I still felt bad for her. She had no family. Willie was always patronizing her and constantly made her feel like she was crazy and her real dad's gone, possibly dead. That's why I decided to add her to my AU as a kid of mine. Part of me desired that maybe if she had a friend or a parental figure, maybe she wouldn't suffer as much. I made a massive miscalculation in all this. I already have a few others to deal with this in the house. I don't know how a Yandere adoptive platonic daughter will fit into all this, especially when some of them are crazy people who will kill at any slight provocation. Surprisingly enough, when I got here, Alistair seemed to be chat freely with Amanda, probably because both of them are demons, and Alistair doesn't seem to be threatened by Amanda, much like Willie was. It even shocked me more that Amanda seemed to adopt Alistair as a father figure, and she's been hanging around with him. She sometimes hung around Wally and paints with him, but she's far more attached to Alistair more. Can we play, Mom? Amanda asked. I smiled at her and couldn't refuse. She was, after all, a little girl. She was, what, 7? Was she? She was a parody of Dora, and Dora in the original series was 7, so it wouldn't make sense she was 7, in quotations. 7 years old, and she needed to grow and have room to be a child. Hamlin never gave her that at all. Instead, they took it all away and forced her to continue a show until it killed her. I gritted my teeth at the fact they hurt Rebecca and forced her into a position that made her suffer. She just wanted to be seen. She just wanted to be heard, and yet she was another victim because of a selfish company. Greed really does something to some people. No matter. She's safe here, away from Hamlin and their nasty influence. For part of me wished I was smart enough to add Sam Colton and she could have been reunited with her family. But maybe it was as best she wasn't. I have no idea overseeing what would have happened between a reunion with her and her parents she had been poisoned to believe had abandoned her. It would have been a bittersweet to know how much her father loved her again and have her be finally put to rest. But then again, Amanda was as unpredictable as ever. Well, it depends. What do you want to play? I asked. Amanda hummed thoughtfully. While she thought about it, I just realized the variety time periods overlapping here. Wally Darling was from the 60s. Jackson was from the 30s. Jackie's was from the 80s. Alistair's from the 30s as well. Amanda was from the 2000s. It's pretty interesting as many of these people are so different from one another. I was wondering if we could play with Alistair, Amanda asked. I looked at Amanda with an arch eye. Play with Alistair? I asked. Alistair never liked electronics at all, since, well, he was from a time period before things like cameras and TVs. And even Xbox. Hell, I think I remember saying this version of Alistair nearly broke a gaming console here. I was worried Amanda might get mad and destroy everything like in the corner stores if I told her the truth. Yeah, Alistair is so cool, Amanda said, pride in her voice. I see, I said, humming. I want to play with him. He probably has good games to play, Amanda said. Dear Alistair doesn't like electronics on radio. I'm certain whatever games he likes are some old-fashioned game boards, I said. Board games, me and Willie used to play them a lot whenever we were bored, so I wouldn't mind playing board games, she said. I smiled. Okay then, let's go. Notes. Alright. I honestly am a fucking idiot. I spent half the entire night calling Kane with a C, Kane with a K, because I thought his name was that. I have yet to sleep nicely and take my medication in days, so I've been a zombie, which explains why I've been churning out nonsensical chapters. I'm looking at you, Beers' apprentice, classic Awama/Orion L. I should have chapter 3 up after I sleep, but it's like, excuse me, 7:58 a.m. time of writing this right now and have yet to sleep, so enjoy this chapter. If you want to join my Discord, I'll probably make it, but it's 18 plus to prepare to have ID verification system. Good night. So basically, yeah, this fanfiction is a crossover fanfiction, and it's as what the title suggests. And yes, of course, I decided to poke fun at the Kane miscall. So, and I actually went back to fixing the chapters with the wrong name in mediation, but it didn't really matter. Basically, it didn't matter anyways because, well, it doesn't matter. As for anybody else, if you want to suggest some stuff, you can join my server in the link below in the description, or you could just come along and just shout anything, talk about me, join other people's server. You know, I'm a fucking friendly person, but as you notice, do not harass people for no reason. Because Regretful Reeds left the internet because some people kept harassing him and saying some vile shit because of the amount of fanfictions he read. Honestly, it's fiction. Fiction does not equal reality. There's certain fiction media like Loli and shit that people say it's illegal. I'm against that shit. I'll tell you one thing. I just recently found out that it's not illegal. Well, it's illegal on the basis of obscenity, but some certain people state it isn't. But yeah, the problem is people equate fucking fictional shit like whatever that Regretful Reeds was doing was extremely bad. Those are kids that shouldn't be on the platform to begin with, or watching his content, or being in the server. I felt like it was a better idea for Regretful to actually just made the server 18 plus with the verification system and instead of allowing minors in the server where this could have been all avoided. The way 18 plus servers operate is some don't have proper verification. You could have easily had people have an ID verification system. Basically, place roadblocks, very easy and huge roadblocks. Or he could possibly have an NSFW channel like he had, but you can just put roadblocks that I said before. It could be 16 plus or 18 plus, but unfortunately some people overlook that, and this was all thrown away because some kids don't understand the true meaning of fictional and parody work. And of course, the archive of our own, the place where he gets his fan fictions from, some of it, including Squid Bob, features some not savory shit like loli shit, because it's an AO3 archive, sir. It's an archive. It's gonna feature everything in Dead Dove. So I think your problem should be lying with the actual content on there. Squid Bob isn't anything bad. It was a staple of his, thing. But the problem lies with the Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz video he was reading, and I feel like that's stupid on grounds to cancel someone. Cancel culture has gotten to the point where not even bigger YouTubers fast-growing YouTubers can escape the criticism. And this is really ridiculous because people work hard to make videos for other people. Regretful Reads actually had a good time making these channels and this video. And for you guys to harass him and his wife, really pathetic. And if you don't like the content he's been reading, then don't comment, don't write, don't listen to it. Because you're a little kid. You shouldn't be watching shit like this. You should feel ashamed of yourself. This shit happened years ago, but it felt like yesterday. As for everyone else, I apologize for my disappearance. I disappeared due to personal reasons, probably because there was incidents going on back to back that I could not control. I said something about this in my last video, but my last video decided to be verbally stupid. So yeah, you're not gonna listen to the Verbalace inspired fanfiction anymore because it's fucking fucked up. But thankfully, I myself actually got to fix the issue because it was on voice mod settings. So my thing is, I've been going through a lot. We had to give up my dogs, moved into another apartment, got into mini drama with the internet spurg, really great. So for starters, I switched accounts, so there's not enough, I probably will be reading Crackfix sometime soon. Squid Bob is still going on. I just have to find more fan fictions of it. Well, I know who he is. I think I have the link in the last description, so I'll be reading the next part next week. I probably wouldn't do anything B-Week related, probably. I'll probably do my own series, like OC Week, probably. So if you want to send in your OC ships or your fanfictions of your own fanfictions, probably like I would call it, self-insert week, where you send your self-indulgent work. I'll probably read My Immortal once I hit 400 subscribers. But you're probably wondering, what's the future of this channel? I won't be posting on this channel. Instead, I'll be posting on my variety channel for fanfiction reading. Probably will do that over there too. So if you want to listen to more fanfictions, I probably post it over here, like right here. Probably post it either on 16x Orion or this account. Either way, you should look forward to more shit here. And I hope to see you have a nice day. Be sure to stay healthy. Don't harass people for shit. And a reminder, I do not support any disgusting, lawful shit. I'm just stating facts and shit that I've learned over the years that would be misconstrued. But yeah, I won't be reading any other unlawful fanfictions because I'm too lazy to actually look for this shit. So you're gonna be hearing some crack fix sometimes and regular fanfictions. So I hope you have a nice day. Bye.